Hello, beholders. Welcome to the Painted Dungeon. I am Stephen Oakes, our dungeon master for today, and we have a couple announcements. One of them is subscribe if you want to be a part of our awesome giveaways. The day of the release of each of these videos, we start a new contest to receive an awesome mini. So this was last week's prize, was winning a Fire Giant King painted by myself, Stephen Oakes, Gale Force 9 painter. And this week we have a new exciting giveaway, which is going to be this awesome knight, which could be a paladin, it could be a purifier if you're taking after our campaign. That's kind of standard purifier or knight armor. And he's rocking an awesome warhammer, or she, who knows what the gender is of this beauty, and an awesome shield. Man, these shields take a lot of work. Awesome mini giveaway this week. Also, we also give away cards on the social media platforms as well. You need to look at our social media, which is The Painted Dungeon. That will be for Instagram or Facebook, The Painted Dungeon. And give away each episode. Last week we left off some are really interesting, but before we get into that, I'm going to go forward with our introductions. I am Stephen Oakes, Gale Force 9 miniature painter, and this is my party members, starting with Bianca.
So, hi, I'm Bianca. I'm playing Rug Sea Elf, and that's my awesome mini. And yeah, I think that's it.
What's her mount?
Narita, her name.
Yes.
Oh, my heptograph?
Raptor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
And then show us your character mini as well. When you're dismounted, that will be what you see.
Sweet. So I'm Daniel. I'm playing Gilby the Golden, a dragonborn, and my mount is Sobek. So this is my mount here.
What is Sobek?
And my minis. And
it's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's a devil's sword. That's what it is. It's a mix.
It's like a giant alligator and a T-Rex had a beautiful baby.
Yes.
Well, your mount is actually on.
Yeah, and my mount
character.
So he actually comes off.
He comes off and has his own base. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And you said you're a gold dragon.
Yes, I'm a golden dragonborn.
Sweet. Bard.
What's your class?
I'm a bard.
Beautiful.
All right, we're coming back around. Are you ready to start us off?
I'm ready to go whenever, man. Ah, cool. Okay. I am Andres, the current video / guru that does the editing and currently running this, usually D, but D's not here. Anyways, I currently play a Yanti, who is a... Holy crap, I forgot my class. He is a warlock that is a hexblade, and his beautiful companion, broken shoulder, is a blue drake, and her name is Zeta. That's me.
And then show us your dismounted.
That's right.
That's your when you're dismounted.
I can't do it.
That's
yeah.
One massive hand, small hand.
Teamwork.
I'm Emmy. I play the Amazonian Paladin, Erilyn Dawnstrider. She is here on her Nightmare, Azrael, and this is the unmounted version of the same mini. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is your paladin?
Yeah, I said that.
That's right.
You said red mare, right?
Nightmare.
I said Nightmare.
Oh,
It's a
Nightmare.
red,
That's
yeah.
close enough.
My bad.
I'm Mike. I'm playing the human Thram and his red mare mount, Midnight Flame. And this is my unmounted mini. Don't look at my face.
All right, so we will start off where we left, kind of. We had a very chaotic last episode as one of our party members nearly died, but giant spiders in D&D, with the monster manual you actually look and it tells you that when you go to 0 hit points, until they start feeding at least, your character, if they drop to 0, is just asleep. So very badly poisoned. Erilyn was escorted but betwixt the two nightmare steeds, the two red mare steeds of Azrael and Midnight Flame, with Throm taking them to a temple to be taken care of in the meantime until she recovered. So, in all that chaos that happened last week, along with the funeral that happened for Tidetown, we're going to backtrack a little bit and give our adventurers the chance to loot, which they surely would have done. That we as players forgot, but the adventurers totally remembered. So everybody roll a investigation check of the area that you fought the giant spiders.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Critical fail.
Wow. Nice.
Oh wait, 10 plus a d4. Get over here, 4.
So Danny, you got natural 20?
11.
Yeah.
A whopping 11.
Got a natural 20.
Killing it. I got a 17.
17. Okay, very good. Those are good rolls. Okay, since you rolled a natural 20, I usually do an extra nice thing when you roll that high, but especially on a natural 20. You find a magical harp item. Are you going to spend a ritual identify to see what it is?
Yes, I will. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This harp, you notice, is made of bone, fish bone, and it has aquatic properties. You may cast water breathing 3 times per day. You may cast calm emotions once per day. It can be heard underwater. So if you had instruments to use that magical bardic inspiration, you would be able to continue to use it underwater using this harp. This lute, 3 times a day, it may also cast cure wounds. And while you are equipped with it, your swim speed equals your regular movement speed.
Oh, sweet.
And once per day, finally, mass cure wounds.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
So it's water breathing
Oh,
3
be
times,
helpful.
cure wounds 3 times, mass cure wounds 1 time, and then what was the other?
Your
movement
movement speed underwater is unhindered.
There was one more.
And you can hear it underwater.
You can hear it underwater.
No, but there was one more spell that you had said.
Okay, I'll go over the list
Calm
again.
emotions.
Calm emotions.
Calm emotions.
That is once per
That's
day. Mhm. And you guys also find as a group, you find now where you're finding these things, because spiders don't carry loot, they don't hoard treasure, but they do kill adventurers and people, and so you guys actually find in one of the tunnels, in one of the burrows that the giant spiders had made, a burrow with some discards of dead bodies. And you guys rummage through these dead bodies, and you find a purifier skeleton and a raptor gryph skeleton. And this purifier had some armor, which has still been preserved and is quite useful, and some other gear and equipment. You find a armor, which are you casting identify on any magical items?
Yeah, I'll cast
I'll
Identify.
just for speed say what they do. The armor is plate mail, and it is called the Armor of Health, and it increases one's hit points by 20.
That might be a little useful.
You
I'm looking at the one person who's died 3 times.
Okay.
She's
won't talk
trying to
about it.
protect everybody so much, and she's doing a great job by
Until I
taking all the
die.
hits. You know, in the
Taking the
Justice
one
League,
hit?
Hey, watch it.
very good. In the Justice League, we see Superman, and he is always the first one to get knocked down and knocked back because he always jumps in front of the lasers so that Batman doesn't die.
He's also invincible, but
He's also invincible, but
I'm
he can get
invincible.
knocked out
I'm
for a
not
while.
dead yet. I'm just saying.
There we go.
You're just
down
profoundly
but
asleep.
not out.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, friends. You guys also find magical bracers. These have a small enchantment to increase the accuracy, so that is to hit your to hit modifier by 1. So it increases it by 1. You also find, lastly, on the raptor gryph skeleton, some old rusty armor, but inside of the old rusty armor is an orb. And you guys have heard about these orbs that go inside of the armors. Your armor on your mounts all have slots, and on these slots you can put in a magical orb which will augment the creature if it is compatible. This was on a raptor gryph, so it is natural to assume that it could be used on yours. This is a spider orb. It has a spider preserved in resin in this magical orb, and what it does is it grants your raptor gryph the cunning action ability that you also have. So it is very useful because one struggle that you have right now as a rogue is cunning action allows you to disengage, but you can't disengage if you're already mounted. It makes it more complex. So having your Raptor Griff also with that same ability will allow you and your Raptor Griff to be able to engage and disengage battle comfortably, provided you don't use any bonus action for anything else. That will use your bonus action. Or, yeah. If you're mounted, it uses both of your bonus actions. And that can also, that cunning action, of course, you can use to hide, to dash, and to other awesome things. So. All right.
Well, if nobody wants the bracers, I'll take the bracers because I'm fine with. I've got an action surge, so that definitely helps.
Yeah.
That's melee or
It is for anything. There are also somewhere in the world bracers of archery as an uncommon magical item, but those increase by 2, but just for long range. The bracers of accuracy are the same power level, we'll say, but they apply for everything with a smaller bonus.
I think it will benefit Throm a lot more than it would benefit in character. Throm, this would be more beneficial for you, and our Sleeping Beauty, I guess, would benefit from the plate mail.
Yeah.
She has already been proven to take my
squishy.
health potions.
I'm just kidding. You can't say anything because you're not here.
All right, so we did leave off with, is it Erlin or Arlen?
Erlen.
Erlin, yes. Erlin has been left in the watchful care of Bilborn the Waterbeard, the high priest of the Temple of Moradin and the dwarvish fathers. So, Arlen, you actually awaken not in a temple. You awaken somewhere else. Erlen, you awaken in the familiar bed you slept in previously of the Sleepy Mermaid Inn. There is a young dwarf, and he is reading a book, and he is in the room with you, sitting on a chair, and you are awake. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna bolt up and say, "Where am I? What's going on?"
Oh, yes, hello, calm her down, a bigger woman. Calm her down. She is an Amazon woman, which means she is over 7 feet tall. She is a very large, muscular Amazonian.
What happened?
You took a lot of poison, but we take a good care of you. You are in your room at the Sleepy Mermaid Inn.
And who are you?
I am Bilborno's apprentice of the Temple of Moradin.
Great. I'm gonna go.
And you may call me Gildan.
Great to meet you, Gildan. I'm gonna go. I have to meet my friends and make sure they're okay. Yeah, okay, bye. And I'm gonna just bolt. Leave.
Okay. Okay. You bolt out and you leave the room and you run outside of the Sleeping Mermaid Inn. Mm-hmm. Okay, so run outside of the Sleeping Mermaid Inn. What would you like to do next? It is nighttime outside, and you went to sleep. We'll call it at about because that's still accurate. Several hours ago when the sun was still shining.
I'm gonna go, I guess, to the mayor's office and see if he knows if they've returned yet.
You head over to the mayor's direction. You see that there is a crowd that has formed. Have you met the mayor yourself?
Yes.
You have? Okay. The mayor is standing atop a podium, and there is a crowd of people, and he is giving a eulogy for some of the town's members who had passed. And you see in the distance, even though there's a night sky, you see there are many fire sconces ablaze about the city, and there is a little bit of magical light emanating from a couple of the watchtowers that will shine across like a lighthouse in the area, and you don't see what would have been the burning boats at this time. Enough time has passed; those have burned up and are dissipated.
Alrighty. I guess I'll wait for him to finish his eulogy and then I'll go up and talk to him.
That's very long-winded.
Of course.
But he says, "Oh, and I remember the beautiful meals that Matilda used to make. They were so delicious. All of us dwarves have a fond memory of her sweet, sweet cooking." And he just proceeds and carries on. You may see if maybe your mount is nearby too, if that is of interest.
I'll go somewhere a little more secluded, not the middle of town.
Good idea.
And summon my
You
mount.
don't want an eruption of flames as your mount appears.
Yeah, I think that might draw a little attention.
Okay.
You know?
Yep. Okay. You make we'll say you make a survival check to try to find and locate a good isolated place to perform your call.
That's a 12.
With your 12, you find a place. You don't feel very good about how hidden it is, but you feel like it has the least amount of attention drawn to it, and you call forth Azrael by name and with a whistle, and you do see that Azrael actually does appear and fire and kind of step down a little bit to approach near you.
All right. I don't even know, because I don't think Azrael would know where anyone is either.
Azrael just looks at you. He can't speak to you really, but he does understand you as if you were talking to someone who spoke your language.
Azrael, do you know where everyone is? Do you have any ideas? Can you take me to them?
Azrael kind of nods, but kind of like shrugs as well.
Okay. I'll be like, take me to where you last saw them, I guess. I don't really know where to start here.
Okay, so you mount up on Azrael. You take off into the sky. Why doesn't the party make a perception check? I'm looking for a 14 because it is a fiery mount in the sky. You cannot be flying on your mount
17.
and have the flames not
I got
present.
7.
I got 13.
Okay,
20, not natural.
we got you two who got above our check. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
it would make sense too.
All right, you
They know
two
more.
see fiery horse above Town ascending, and you recognize that's must be Azrael. You assume it's at a far enough distance. You don't know that it could be another purifier.
Yeah, hopefully it's not
Did
another
we-
purifier. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what?
Little do you know, this is the new trap I have set for my players.
Did we not tell her to sleep? Well, we didn't say anything, but I
She
guess she
was
was
as-
asleep.
How was I supposed to
It
tell
is
her
like
she was out?
it is like 2 a.m. right now. You guys, out of respect, you are aware that she has been moved. You did have a messenger sent to you saying that you would be taken to a more comfortable. Ireland would be taken to a more comfortable place. At
Where are
room.
we?
You guys are out, kind of trying to engage with the town, and the dwarves. Some of them, most of them left you guys. Some of them were a little bit bitter. One of your party members for some reason, and that is you guys are wandering the town.
Well, I'll finish up the conversation that I'm having, and then I'll try and go into an alley and get on my horse and find.
Make your survival check for privacy.
Nice. Worse than mine.
7.
All right, you're looking around and you're looking around, and there's just a lot of people around you. And at a certain point, you're like, this I don't have a great spot for it, but what do you want to do?
Can Azrael can Midnight Flame hear me when that's not in my plane? I'm assuming.
In theory, depending on how close Midnight Flame is, the horses do need to move a little bit, but they do try to stay. In your past experience, they try to stay fairly close to you. If you whisper, probably not going to happen.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm not gonna whisper. Like, I don't care if somebody hears; they'll just think I'm talking to myself. Which could have.
Everybody's most people are a little tipsy, a little drunk.
Yeah,
a lot of
perfect.
wakes are happening outside.
Then I'll just tell Midnight Flame, see if you can go to Azrael and let him know that we're here, we're in the town, and that everybody is safe, so that he can try and come back here with Erlen. And then just hope that he hears.
All right, why don't we make
I'll-
an animal handling check to see how well.
Even worse.
This is
That's a
going
4.
good.
Okay, you guys traded places on your dice.
I'm not gonna roll that guy.
I mean, I rolled
anymore,
12,
but-
so I'm not exactly too hot, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's better than like critical fails.
Yeah.
And I'll keep an eye. Like, I'll be watching her flying around. I'm assuming, and if I don't see her start to turn around soon, then we'll see what to do from there.
Okay, I know what to do. So, Ireland, you are heading towards the north edge of Tidetown now, and you are getting ready to pass all of Tidetown. You guys see her kind of pass over you guys. You do see Midnight Flame does appear and does circles in front of you and around you once, and then starts to head down towards Tidetown, and then because of Midnight Flame's her programming based on this city, we'll call it, she kind of disappears a little bit. So you're going to have to kind of search a little bit to find the group, but you do see. Well, what would you like to do with that?
I'm gonna go down to where she disappeared, or is it she where she disappeared, and start investigating, see what I can find.
She kind of disappears like a good 120 feet north atop the city, so you're kind of like, oh, okay.
I'm gonna. How well can I swim in my armor? Just out of curiosity.
You can sink real well.
I mean, I'm not
You
expecting to
can
be
swim.
fast. I'm not expecting to be
You won't
fast.
sink in D&D, even though in real life armor would probably you sink. In D&D, if there's an exhaustion check, you'd roll with disadvantage.
I'm a
but
unit.
you can swim and armor in D&D.
Okay.
Not great though.
Then I'm going to, I guess, roll to see if I can find somewhere, again, more secluded, that I can have Azrael get me close enough to the water that I can drop into the water without making a huge amount of, making it super noticeable.
So the goal is to swim close to the water and drop you off into the water, is that?
Yes, because I don't want him to land on Tidetown. I think that's a bad idea. So
Okay.
I'm going to have him just drop me off in the water.
Alright, Azrael goes down towards Tidetown, and at a certain point you tell Azrael to go home, and you fall the rest of the way into the water, making a big old splash.
Nice.
Taking 50 points of damage. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys who were watching, probably maybe pointing out to the group, well, that didn't happen, so I'm not going to say that. You guys did notice that fiery horse start to head towards the north side of town, so you guys will have to travel a little ways to that part. And then you see the fiery area disappear, so you're all out kind of looking for each other. It takes you some time, but eventually you guys see a very soaking wet Erlyn.
And Steve. While we're searching.
One more thing
okay.
before I get to you, but
Okay.
thank you
Yeah.
for interrupting. And genuine concern goodness, because you guys need to do that. Okay, but did you put on your armor? It sounded like you just bolted out of the room. You were not wearing
That's
armor.
true.
I
That's
need
true.
to-
I would not have put my armor back on.
Okay,
So
so you're in your a cozy robe at this time. That's what you would be.
It's not cozy now. It's wet.
sopping
It's
wet,
now
but
sopping
yeah.
wet. It is tight. It is the Sleepy Mermaid's robe,
Oops.
and you are crawling out. You're crawling. You've come aboard.
I did
the
grab my
docks.
sword though, so
I would believe that. Yeah. Okay. You got your sword on you and belted to your next to your sash of your robe, and you come.
this is the move, I think, guys.
You're soaking wet. A lot of people are looking at you like, "Are you okay, miss?" But some time goes by, and you guys see a sopping wet robed Erlyn. Yes, and then Gilby.
While we were walking, I would have mentioned, I would have said that. So, Snaky Man, do you have no? Do you not care for life? Because I saw, and I heard the dwarf speaking about how you killed one of their own kind without any thought.
I would. You are unfamiliar with my culture. First of all, we do not share or care for emotion. I was exiled for having too much emotion, so that tells you something. But it was an unfortuitous circumstance of he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and we were trying to get out of there.
But we could have saved him before you actually. You just killed him.
This
you didn't even
spider
think-
would have killed him. So I
could have saved
gave him a quick death. It is the most honorable thing that a warrior of our kind can do.
That for me, that is not honor. Life is more important than honor.
Honor means nothing to me. It is all about survival of the strongest.
So just like the purifiers, you'll kill whoever gets in your path.
I do not kill prejudicely. I kill simply if someone's in my way.
Alrighty. right. I'll keep an eye on you. I still do not trust you. I don't know any of you, so.
Very well. I do not blame you.
All right. Now, you guys have just, with your conversation and traveling to meet up with Erilyn, you spot Erilyn, and she is present, but wet. It is getting quite cold.
It's fair. I'm gonna come up to him and say, "My friends, are you all alright? Did everything go okay?"
We're better off than you.
I'm fine.
You seem
Worse
a
things have
little
happened.
less puffy than before.
I do feel much better after a long rest. Are our dwarven friends alright? Did they make it out okay?
Most, but not all.
Yeah,
They're
one
the
of
spiders.
your group decided to kill one of them.
I wasn't purposely trying to kill
Let me
him.
rephrase what
I
you said.
simply,
Yeah.
the spiders were getting to him, and I figured, might as well give him a quick and painless death.
Did you at least try and save him?
No.
He was surrounded by spiders, and I kill all of them, or let more of us end up like you.
Alright, we'll discuss this another time. I feel like this is probably not the time or place, considering we are in the middle of Tidetown, where they all live.
Yes, and please, put something on, and I held out the plate to you, please.
Over the robe?
Get dressed somewhere.
I'm wearing clothes. They might
I know
not
you're
be
wearing
actual
clothes, but you're wearing wet clothes, so I'm just saying.
It's a robe. It's
Anyways,
fine.
There you
It
go.
is a robe, and it's kind of a small robe on you because of your
That's
7 foot.
why
I'm wearing a
It's
mini.
like-
I'm wearing a mini skirt.
It's like a anime. What is it called? Kitsune. Whatever it is.
Yes.
The very short
Kimono.
robe. The very. I don't know. It's like a short skirt on your robe because
Nice. Good to know.
height.
Good to know. I'll grab the plate and say, all right, well, I guess we'll head back to the Sleepy Mermaid. Do you guys have anything else you need to do?
Rest.
That's the place to do it.
You guys hear someone holler out, "Hey, I know that robe! That's from the Sleepy Mermaid!"
Indeed, my friend. Thank you for noticing.
She's the new mascot.
The beautiful and graceful Sleepy Mermaid.
Make a deception check.
That's terrible. Deception? That's a 6.
Alright. No, it's not. Alright, you guys, where to next, party members? Most of you are very fatigued, and even
Yeah.
you, even though you've been sleeping for a while, you're still very tired, and you do feel like as you've been moving and trying to move, you notice that your body does feel sluggish from the events.
That adds up,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't think there's anything else for us to do tonight. I'm gonna go back and sleep. We can go talk to the mayor in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say I'll head back. I'm gonna play some music for the people who were lost in the battles, and I'll walk off and just so kind of like a, what is it called?
A eulogy?
Yeah, kind of like a eulogy for those who were lost. So,
A funeral dirge. That's the word, right?
and I'll be like I'll catch up with you guys later, and I'll go off on my own.
Okay. All right. So are you guys headed to bed?
Yep.
Yep, we're
Yep.
going back to the Sleepy Mermaid.
All right. You guys head back to the Sleepy Mermaid Inn, and Trevor, a little bit sleepy-eyed, says, "Oh, welcome back, masters. Good to see you all. Anything I can get for you, or are you just headed straight to bed?"
If you have any food on hand, that would be nice. But other
Of
than that, I
course.
think I'm gonna go to bed.
I will bring you guys some food to your rooms.
Thank you.
Give you a knock, and I can just bring it inside if you can call. You can let me in with your voice. I won't creep in. Okay. And then he turns around nervously and goes off to the kitchens. You guys head to your rooms and go get some rest. Food is brought to you, and Gilby, you kind of see that for the most part it seems that people are in mini wakes. a lot of them are close to each other and within eye shot of each other. A lot of people are out kind of celebrating late, but people are starting to, by this point, to wander home and wander to bed, especially those with kids. And are you seeking out anything in particular?
I'll kind of go where the mayor was, kind of on the stage, and I just kind of want to
Okay.
just play for the people while they're heading home.
You wander to where you see the most light gathered, and you do see a crowd of people who are there's some empty seats, but there's a lot of chairs that have been set out. And you go onto the podium.
And I asked the mayor, of course, to say, can I just play a small eulogy for those who were lost in battle?
Of course. We will now hear from the golden dragonborn of the east, Gilby. The stage is yours, Gilby. And
Okay.
it gets off stage.
And I'll pull out my lute and start. Well, my harp now, and I'll play.
All right.
For them.
Your new fishbone harp.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll make a performance check, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. An 8. I
An
got
8. With your natural 2, you got an 8. That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, I have a 6 on performance.
You play, and because it is a new instrument, you do miss a couple of notes here and there. But people are very in a very emotionally hyped state right now, and it does soothe them, and they kind of overlook. They're not in the mood to critique right now.
Yeah.
And they're just grateful for any offer of respect for people who are in their hearts and in their minds at this time. And this is for the funeral for all the people who have fallen in the defense of Tidetown from episode 1, from the invasion of the sea creatures. So you conclude your music, and a lot of people give you a nod of thanks. Not a lot of people are really in their thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. Are you headed anywhere else?
No, I'll just. Well, actually, I'm gonna come over to the mayor and just ask, "Hey, mayor, do you know anything about? I know it may not be the best time, but do you know anything about the other group members that came here?
Oh, which group?
The 3, the 2 humans and the snake-looking fellow."
Oh, I see. Yes. They came here shortly after you and your friends did, and I assumed you were associated with one another based on how closely in time I met with both groups. I don't know too much. At this time, we have a tentative, we'll call it an alliance with Purita. We do not welcome too many purifiers here at one time, but I've been hearing some mixed rumors. If you don't mind answering and clearing that up for me, are you guys ex-purifiers? Or I'm hearing some people claim that you're retired. I mean, let's be honest. You guys are way too young to be retired, and I know purifiers way too well to know that is not something that they do.
I'll say. I can speak for my group that we have ran from the purifiers, so we are no longer part.
I see.
Them. And we came here to find a place away from all that. But for the other group, I'm not sure. They say that that they're probably not part, but I don't know them well enough.
Well, how do you want to play that off then? Are you trying to be in hiding and claim that you are retired or ex, or what is the word if I should get asked?
Just say we are. Yeah, retired I think would be best. Or I mean, if they come searching, I think
he puts his short stubby hand not on your shoulder because he can't reach, but he puts it on your stomach. And he says, "My friend," and he gives you a good pat, and he says, "No one is going to believe if they're really considering who you and what you are. They're not going to believe that you're retired. They might, out of politeness, nod their heads, But no one's going to believe that if they know anything about the purifiers. Especially if I get more purifiers coming to town, I need to know what story I need to tell them.
Well, if you know so well, then maybe you should make something up that will convince them.
Well, if I make something up, you and I and whoever else is here on the same story needs to all have the same story so that it's straight.
Okay, you can tell me, and I can let my group know.
Well, if you're going to be hiding from purifiers, you shouldn't wear purifier gear. If it's not uncustomary for people to purchase gear from the purifiers and to wear it, but to have matching sets and equipment that can set people off a little bit. And your mounts might be a red flag, but yes. So it might be a bit tricky. I don't really know how to handle that, but you guys helped protect the town, and you helped us get lumber, and why don't you let me know what to tell people?
Okay, I can speak to my group, and we can figure something out.
Okay, well, let's get our story straight and get back to me soon.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you so much. And I'll...
Bids you a good evening, and you head back to go to bed?
Yeah, yep.
All right. So, you just going straight to bed?
Yeah,
All right.
I'll just go straight to the bed.
Food is brought to your suite and to your rooms, and you guys get a full night's rest and extra rest for one of you who needs it. And you all awaken at various times in the next morning. I will say that Nareda and Thram and Zulkul awaken first. You guys come out of bed. Breakfast is being prepared and offered in the main room. You're welcome to pay to have it delivered to your room, or just take some on a plate and take it to your room. Whatever you would like to do.
I'll just eat at a table down there.
Are you guys wanting to use some of your tavern credit towards an enchanted meal or a regular meal?
Enchanted.
Enchanted.
Okay. Do you remember what enchanted meal you prefer?
The one that gives me the bonus
crabs.
XP. I think
The crab legs. I remember that one.
That gives you the extra spell slot, which
Yep.
is extremely valuable for a warlock.
the one that gives me the extra HP.
How much is
I
it?
can't remember which one that one was though.
I will get those prices in just a moment.
So you guys are going down to the...
There we go.
I'm gonna go down and just eat there.
Ron, you
Downstairs.
feel like going down to the bar and eating? What
Yeah.
about you?
She's asleep.
I'm sleepy.
Marilyn.
I'm sleepy.
Wake up.
Because the meals do cost different prices, and you guys are all kind of staying in the same room. You guys want to just use your gold towards the your gold that is on your person
That's what
towards
I
the
was
meals.
gonna
Okay, so that's 15 gold for the giant crab claw, and it is for you wanted the lemon bass. That's for the extra attack, the first round of combat.
No, the extra.
The
hit
extra
points.
HP. That is the. There is, I believe
It's one that gives
two options. So Sleeping at the Sleepy Mermaid Inn gives you all 5 temporary HP. You can get another 5, but you get 1 level of exhaustion with the fried calamari, and I think that was it. Yeah.
Then no, I did get the.
The
You're
lemon
thinking
bass.
about the sleeping getting the +5.
Get me that bass.
Okay, so you all get 5 temporary HP, and you got the lemon bass.
69
Okay.
hit points.
Nice.
Narita, what about you for
Don't forget you get 20.
I'm gonna get the calamari. Is that the only thing? Is it
the calamari? Okay, so you get 1 level of exhaustion. That would give you disadvantage on like a stealth check. Would be the one that you probably use the most, but you would get a little boost to your health. Or you can get an extra attack the first round of combat with the lemon bass, or the shark kebab gives you +5 to your swim speed.
I'm gonna get the calamari one. Yeah.
Get the calamari? Okay, great. You get a total of 10 temporary hit points
Okay.
between the rest and the meal. And then Gilby and Erilyn, you two get up, and what would you like for breakfast?
Bass.
I like the bass as well.
Okay, the bass is 7 gold. The fried calamari is just 5 gold. That you got.
7 gold.
And then I think we went over you two. Okay.
Question, Steve.
Yes.
Was the plate that she got, was that a +1? Just a regular plate with the benefits of the
It is
health?
a +1 armor, so it does boost your armor by 1 as well, yes.
Oh, that's
Ah.
nice.
Yes.
Cool.
I need to ask you, since I have my armor, I have the mithril plate. That was my magic item that I got.
Yes.
Is
that
that a
is
+1?
that is a +1.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes. Now, your orb actually does increase your enchantment of your armor by 1 for your mount. So Shadow Quill's armor goes up by 1.
Nice.
Okay.
That's nice.
All right. Now, when you guys get up in the morning and as you're eating your late breakfast, sometime right as you guys sit down to eat, and you guys are kind of gathering in the common eating area just to
Yeah.
visit and be together. Okay. Is there anything you guys wish to say, or should I proceed?
I ask you, Master Dragon, Golden Dragon, what makes you stand above the rest, as it seems that you're so holy and high and mighty?
I'm not holy. I just have. I consider life very important.
Yes, but yet you are against the laws of nature and the circle of life, it seems.
The
How
circle
so?
of life should be left to take its course. You should not intervene.
Thank you.
Here's
See,
my
at least some of your group knows what they're doing.
Why let the poor dwarf suffer when I can put him to sleep?
Was she not
Painlessly.
suffering? And she's okay today.
We have
That
to
is
take this
only
into
because she
account.
is an Amazon.
I will play the devil's advocate. I do agree we should have given it a better chance. I don't think he should have struck quite so quickly and tried to kill everything right there, because the dwarf could have been saved. Because I was also right there. But we didn't know that was going to happen. The only reason we know that it happens now is because I flew her back when nobody else would. That's the only reason we know that it happened. We don't know that if a dwarf gets poisoned, we don't know if they would die. So, while I agree with you, I see his way of thinking as well. While he didn't want anybody to suffer, the dwarf was already poisoned, potentially dead. He wanted to just put anything out of its misery.
I'll just say then, it better not happen again, or you'll see the consequences.
Well, what about if we're talking about it that way? I mean, the consequences of your massive mount have destroyed things because of how big it is.
Yes, but it has done things to help others.
And he hasn't.
Killing a dwarf does not help us.
No, but he's also killed other things to protect people as well.
I
So-
picked up that dwarf and put him on my mount.
Narita, I would like you to make a perception check.
Ooh,
I'm sure
nice.
it's gonna be.
Ooh, dang.
She is not at all a part of this conversation. She could not care less.
Narita not caring and growing up a little bit in a seedier lifestyle with her background. She is always vigilant, and she notices behind in the very back the front doors kind of swing open with a lot of enthusiasm and strength, and a very, very small figure, a gnome, walks into the tavern and grabs a cup of ale and then sits at a table and looks around the room and appears to be staring at your table. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Trust me, I agree with you, because like you, I was also raised by dwarves. I don't want people to needlessly die, so I do agree. We can definitely do things better, but in situations like that, in the heat of combat, I understand things happen. It doesn't make it right, but we can still try and make it better for next time. We don't need to threaten each other.
Let me get the party's consensus here. If there is somebody who's suffering, but we have a small probability of saving him, I know where you two stand, but you others, would you prefer me to let them suffer and see if we can save them, or would you prefer me to put them out of their misery?
How is that even a question?
It is a question that I know your answer, but I do not know theirs.
I think it doesn't matter right now because that guy is looking at us.
I'm gonna look over to see who she's
So I
talking about.
just finished
Should I roll a
the
perception check, or did she
conversation.
actually point at the guy?
She points him out, and he's not in stealth. You guys are just heavily enraptured in a deep conversation. You all turn around, and you all kind of glance over at there is a very, very small, big-headed, large forehead, bald, and mutton chops, red, orange mutton chops on the sides of his face, and there is this is a gnome man, and he is smoking a pipe, and he's got a cup of ale, and he's smoking it, and he's staring at your table, and then as you guys all look at him, he startles a little bit, checks behind him, and says, and then he hops off of his bar stool, and you guys lose vision of him as he drops behind a table, as he is so small. But then he comes around, marching with purpose and authority, and he says, "Oi, you are the purifiers I've heard about, yes?" And then he hops up onto the bench that you guys are all seated on, and then he hops up onto the table. "Answer me when I ask you a question. Are you the purifiers I've heard about?"
Who are you, sir?
"I am the gnome master, the bounty master gnome, Theron. And I've heard a thing or two about you. Do I have the wrong group?"
What have you heard? I don't know what you
Oh,
heard.
I see. And then he puffs his pipe a little bit more. Puff, puff. And he says, asking me the questions. "Well, as I have just introduced myself as a bounty master, perhaps I have a bounty."
I wish you the best of luck in collecting it.
Are you looking for help collecting a bounty, or do you have a bounty you're trying to collect?
"Oh, I am not a collector. I
Okay.
am the one who posts jobs for those seeking
That's what I figured.
a little
I
bit
just
of
wanted to make
coin.
Sure.
Money?
You must
What-
follow the rainbow if you catch my drift. Catch the money.
What's this? What's the bounty? Is money always? Money buys all things.
Very well questioned, Dodger. My bounty is to go and do something, but I must confirm, or maybe find work elsewhere. Are you the folks who defended this tavern some days ago?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you also the same party who may or may not have zapped to death a dwarf?
Yes.
This was his doing. This was not mine.
So we saved the
looks down at his
dwarves,
beady
we
little
get all
eyes.
the wood, but the
Right down.
death of one dwarf is mars the whole success of the mission.
Well, I don't know if I can trust you on this mission or not, but let me just say what the mission is, and I need your absolute assurance if you are to accept it, if you are to participate, Scaly One. He says to you, you don't really have a bunch of scales that are visible, but you have snake features, yes. Well, now, we had a group who was out scavenging to replenish stock that had been taken from the raid on Tytown before, and this party was ambushed by goblins. I need a very careful, and by careful I mean not killing hostages. I need a group, an adventuring group, to go in and rescue our people who have been taken from us, and any resources that they have taken from our town. The resources, I know you adventurers like to keep your gold and things like that. We want the supplies for the town. You may keep gold that you find. These hobgoblins are not part of the alliance that we have with Iron Bastion. They have dissented, as many of the goblin can have, against the Queen Feora and the Iron Bastion Kingdom. So what I need for a group to go in, rescue the party, rescue the goods, and bring everybody and everything back safely.
Where are they being held?
I can give you directions for it. It's not too far off of the shores. It will be on the mainland, a little ways in. I just need to know if you accept it. The reward that we are offering 20 gold pieces per right ear of each hobgoblin that you bring back. If you bring back a regular goblin, we will give you 5 gold pieces for their ear. Right ear.
All right.
What's...
I agree.
Yes?
We'll
Oh,
go.
very good. We need...
I will only consent to this if that is part of the request. If I need to escape and I have to go through somebody, I will not kill them because it is part of the mission, if that is what you request.
You may kill goblins, but do not kill any dwarves, do not kill any elves, do not kill any humans, do not kill any gnomes, and he points at himself. Or halflings.
Very well. I will abide by your rules for this bounty.
You're not a very trustworthy type, are you? The way you say that.
I do not trust very much now.
Oh. Well, that's fine. But if I hear such things, I may have more work for you in the future, or I may not. So I better hear nothing but good tales, yes?
I will not kill, like you said. It is part of the bounty. I will abide by the rules.
Very good. I would point to you directions. If you have a map, that would be the fastest way to give you directions to where we know that they went. And he takes your map and he says, we know that they were scavenging. And he kind of circles west of the river, right about here. And I'm going to point so that you guys can see that. Alright, so that is kind of like, you guys were here last week. So this is just jump, skip, and hop across the river. Kind of close to Bloodrock, which... you guys can roll a history check to see what you know about Bloodrock.
Oh, not rolling that crazy crap dice anymore.
17.
Narita, you get to roll with advantage on this
7.
check.
I got a whole 12.
Got a
That was
9.
better than 7.
You guys need a
advantage.
14 for this.
That's
It's
the
not,
second 12 I've rolled today.
you got a
17.
17? Very good.
Yeah, 18.
And you got an 18. Excellent.
9.
So you two are well aware that Bloodrock many years ago was considered a Hobgoblin hub, part of the kingdom, and years ago was part of the Slavers Alliance, we'll call it, between the fire giants and the goblinkind and some other races. So you know that a lot of hobgoblins are known to reside there and still do, but they're more they are divided into tribes and not as unified as they once were. And you guys will be somewhere near there, and you are hunting hobgoblins, so that is something to keep in mind. Now, Farah, the red-bearded gnome, says, now, I trust that the knowledge I heard was correct. I heard that you all had some beasties who may or may not be able to help track. Keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps you find what we are looking for. And he offers a cloak that belonged to one of the captives. If they are captive or killed, it's unknown, but hopefully it leads you to where the bandits, these goblins, are. Any other questions?
No questions. I think we're good.
Where do we find you to collect our bounty?
Very good. You can usually find me out at the Jigging Squid. This place is a bit fancy for my taste. I usually hang out about there, and I live just a couple houses from there, if you need to find me.
How many hostages are there?
We had a party of about 15. Hopefully they're all still alive. Very well, I'm off. And he hops off of the table and he exits the tavern. Now, as far as that tracking goes and scent goes, you, with your mounts being part bulldog, does have a little bit of a good nose for following a scent. A little bit better and more superior than some of your other mounts would be able to do. Okay? What would you like to do next?
Let's let us go to the potions master, and I think
Stock
we
up.
may need to stock back up on some potions.
And read. Because I don't have any left either. So.
All right.
I still got all 3.
Oh, did I give you guys gold with your loot?
No.
Check.
No.
You guys each get 143 gold. I didn't let that slip. And on your way, as you guys make your way to your quest, you stop by the trading market in the center of Tidetown that you did before. and you all look around for potions to be sold. You guys don't see Etor there today. You guys make a survival check to make sure you were
Natural
able
20.
to track down. Excellent. Okay. Thram, you with your natural 20, you do see somebody selling a wide variety of things rather than specializing in just potions. And you see that they are selling, you catch a total of 4 healing potions and an invisibility potion. And these healing potions all look exactly like the potions that Jovi was selling yesterday. Okay?
The crappy potions.
The crappy. We don't know.
They were made with love, and they are better than regular healing potions, so it was presented. So, yeah.
Love means nothing to me. Just kidding.
I'll go up to that person. And
You see there's a old married couple. They're selling these goods, and they say, "Oh, greetings! Are you here to purchase some daggers, some knives, perhaps some potions?"
We need some healing potions.
Well,
How many
very
do you
good.
have?
We have the very last stock of potions available today if you're going out. So the price is a little bit higher than they would have been before. Supply and demand, you know. But we're running a bit of a special if you buy all of them. They are just 55 gold pieces per healing potion. If you buy them individually, it is 60 gold per potion. And the potion of invisibility, we are selling for 325 gold pieces.
That's a pretty steep price for the potions.
It is. We don't know when there will be a restock, so it's why the price is so high. Those who really need it will find the life-saving qualities of a healing potion priceless.
May I ask, why is there a low demand for these
There is a
items?
very high demand. Unfortunately, our poor potion master, Etor, and even his rival actually died. Well, we had a whole bunch of potions. We probably had way more than what we would normally, than what we have now. But one of the potion shops was completely destroyed, and the other one was nearly destroyed, and that's why there's only just a few left. And Etor is out working on his house today, with the help of some masons. But
We have
that is why the
stuff
price is
too.
so high. We don't know when there will be more at this time.
Where does Etor live?
Etor isn't too far from here. You can see there's a bit of a shamble, and she kind of gives you a bit of a direction. But he doesn't have any potions, but you're welcome to go talk to him.
We will. How many people are going to buy potions? Anybody?
Let's just buy the 4.
I don't need any.
I-
We'll buy all 4 of the healing potions from here now because we do need them. But we'll go talk to him and see what we can do to help him so we can get more potions because we'll need more potions.
I'll feed them to people who need them. So
Seems to be your job so far.
Yeah, so that's 110,
Yeah,
110, and if they want
it's-
to use them.
Okay.
I also still have 3 as well as a potion of invisibility that I have
Okay.
used.
Yeah, I have 3 healing potions for them too. So I'm pretty
I
good.
used
All
all mine
right.
on
So then
yours.
the healing potions are 55 apiece.
Well, I used one of them. Not all of them.
Thank you for your patronage. Hopefully we get more in stock soon for the sake of the town.
And I'll just tell them, I think before we leave, let's go talk to Etor and see if there is anything we can do to help quickly. That way we don't have to be getting price gouged on potions because I feel like we'll need them.
Well, we've been using a lot of them so far, so yeah.
Okay, you guys head over to where Etor's house was pointed out to you, and you do see there are some dwarves who are at work, and it appears to be the same party of dwarves you actually escorted yesterday. You see Salt up high, he's on some 2x4 beams, making some framework right now for rebuilding this shop. You do not see Etor as you were looking around. Gran gives you guys a little bit of a wave as you guys get close.
I'll go up to Grant. Is Grant on the ground?
Gran is on the ground.
And I'll
Ground
just be
level.
like, is there anything that we can help out? We have something we're gonna go do, but we have a little bit of time right now. We can help out if you guys would need some help.
Gran says, "Oh, well, thank you. We have lumber here. We probably could use some more, a little bit more of the lumber, which should be on the north side of Tide Town. If you want to bring it our way. We have a hand cart there you can use, but we need it back within the hour. Otherwise, you're not a help. You're a hindrance."
Okay.
Alrighty then. Good to see you too.
Gran is being friendly, but a lot of the dwarves are very, very extra stoic today, it seems, for some reason. And yeah.
Where's Zetor?
Etor was helping direct us earlier, but the mayor did not like that too kindly. He wanted him to work at potions. So Etor is over at the mayor's house today, working on potions using his office.
Oh, okay.
But
Good to know.
he's pretty busy. He's not supposed to be disturbed.
Will you need more wood than what we are going to go get right now, or you just need that and that will be it?
That will be it for
now?
several hours for now. Yeah. unless any of you have training in construction, I don't suppose. None of you.
We were raised by dwarves. Would that have anything to do with it?
You-
Well, mine
okay,
was a
your
map.
dwarves were very different from the dwarves in this
Yeah.
town. Your dwarves are very traditional. They're in the mountain.
Yeah, and
well,
they're
they're not in the
map.
mountain. They're underground, but they're mountain dwarves, and they do not work much with wood aside from making scaffolding to work with stone. So stonework is something you have a little bit of
Obviously, I know a little bit of stonework and I know how to make scaffolding, but I don't think that's going to really help much.
Oh, we're kind of past scaffolding stage right now, but thank you. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
I would
Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. So, are you guys taking the handcart? Are you helping them? Or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see if.
None of our mounts will work on this.
I can pull the handcart. It can't be that heavy.
Okay. Very good. Well, you as a Amazon are able to carry things like a Goliath as if you were a large-sized creature. So you would actually be very good for pulling the handcart if it was very loaded with lumber.
Pack mule.
So Gran kind of pulls out a piece of parchment and he marks off a few different sizes of lumber and hands it to you guys and thanks you and says back to work and he turns around and goes back to working on the house.
Alright.
In the shop.
We'll head over.
Okay. So you head over to the north and let's have you make an athletics check to see how well you do. You can be assisted by one of the other.
I'll help.
You can be assisted by one of the other party members.
That was an 8.
That was an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
With your
Athletics.
size, the difficulty isn't too bad.
That is a
You have little
19.
boost and a 19. Very good. Okay, so with Thram on the back and you on the front, you guys together are able to get it back in reasonable time. You get it back within about 40 minutes after loading and taking it all the way to the middle of town, and then yes, okay. You guys go to the north side of town where very confused Gaeltag is trying to ferry and follow you guys, and then you guys are headed back the other direction. Gaeltag is sweating up a storm, hollers out, "Where are you going?"
We've got one trip left.
Actually, I lied. Gaeltag does not follow you two.
Just them.
Gaeltag follows just you. Okay. All right. Never mind. That did not happen. Scratch that. So you guys go to the north side of town where your ferrymen kind of look for a wave or a signal from you guys to move in if you would like to cross, which would be your next step
Yeah.
unless there is a
Did we
detour.
return already? Did we return?
Yeah, you guys are just waiting for these two who do return. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Let's set out.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head out.
So Gaeltag and Tyson Waterbeard, you guys get onto your ferries with your mounts who are very excited and awakening and your Sobek is kind of been sleeping on the raft and Tail is hanging in the water. Okay, so as you guys are headed in that direction, now would be a great time for a break.
tentacles.
Hello and welcome back to the Painted Dungeon. On our break, we set up our battlefield for our adventurer's upcoming quest. But before we get to all that, we would love to hear from you guys, and Andres has a great idea on something we would really love to hear about.
All right, everybody. So, in the comment section below, we want to know what type of mount you think that the character that you have, whether it's a new campaign, a current campaign that you're using, which mount would you prefer? Whether that's the red mare, the raptor griff, the dinosaur, I can't remember off the top of my head, as well as the blue drake, or if you have even one that you want to concoct yourself, and let us know what that would be in the comment section below. But one other really important thing to remember is Steve, our dungeon master, creates all of these awesome mounts, paints them, does all of that. So if you want to purchase any of these items, whether it's the miniatures or the mounts, we have a link in the description to his Etsy store. So just go to the description right there below. Also make sure to hit the subscribe button and do all of that at the same time. So let's get back into this campaign.
All right. So as you guys have traveled from Tide Town onto the mainland and headed and made your way nearer to another side close to Gloombreach and Blood Rock, which is right there. Why don't you guys show me your marching order with your figures, your formation. I assume that you are all mounted. Is anyone not mounted?
I am mounted, yes, 100%.
I'm mounted.
I mean, I think you should probably be in front if your blue drake is the one leading us. Like you said,
That's true. You do need to make a survival check, and you will be following Zeta.
Ooh,
That's not bad.
what is this, a survival check? That is a 15 because I have -1.
15?
Got it.
15's good. So using the scent from before and coaxing Zeta into following the scent from the cloak that was given to you, you were all following. Show me that. This is the formation you're in. What's
No, that's...
So he's gonna need to be in front.
He's gonna be in front. I'll be kind of in the middle.
I'll be like there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be flanking
Where
that
are you?
side.
I'll be first since I'm doing the...
That side. Right here? Yeah, that's good.
All right. And in your formation, which lets me know certain things, you guys are following Zeta. And as Zeta has been following a trail and sniffing at the ground, she's been hurrying along, and she gets to a certain point, and you guys are in the forest now. And you guys have to cross a river, it looks like, because the trail has gone cold. So it looks like there is on your map, there is one spot to cross, but Narita knows that is a place known as Fort Crossing, which is manned by mostly fire giants who are kind of difficult to work with. That's just stuff that you know from back your days working the caravan.
How big is the river?
The river is quite wide. Most of your mounts can swim pretty well. So
We can fly across.
Yeah.
So she can fly, we can fly, they can swim.
I say we just swim across. There's no reason to go over the bridge.
okay.
We'll
So
run on the bridge. Only she does, right?
well,
Oh.
she tells you guys about
Yeah.
the bridge, but you guys may or may not want to use it.
Yeah.
But you are all with your mounts very capable of crossing this river.
Yeah.
Even though it has a swift current, your mounts are very capable at swimming or flying or gliding. Okay, is that what you were doing then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. You all cross the river, flying across with Thram and Erlin and your Red Mare Nightmare mounts, and gliding across with Narita and Shadow Quill, and then swimming across with Sobek and Gilby and Zulkul and Zeta. See all those names really fast, back to back. Okay, so you guys pick up a trail again, and you're heading further until Zeta starts kind of growling and signaling something to you. You can make an animal handling check to see how your interpretation goes with her signals.
Oops. Wait, where'd you go? Come hither, my fither. That is going to be a solid 9.
Good.
All right, with your solid 9, you weren't too sure. You don't really pay too much attention to it. And why don't I... Okay. You hear and see as you were passing around some trees, a walled fence. Not a fence, but it's barricaded and walled sporadically to kind of veer people to a couple entry points around this structure. Someone from a watchtower spots you, and you hear, "Oi, who goes there?" in kind of a gross-sounding voice.
Okay. I'm gonna signal to drop. See if everybody will hide since I'm ahead.
I'm gonna go to the astral plane.
Okay. Is that what you two are doing? Now, mind you, when you teleport to the astral plane, essentially you burst in flames. So a flash of fiery flame coming from around the corner. It does happen, but it is daylight, so it doesn't stand out too much.
Okay.
I said, "Who goes there?" And now it is just you three and your mounts in this plane.
See ya.
We are just wanderers wandering through the
And
forest.
two draw their bows, and yeah. You're just wanderers wandering through the forest. I see.
Yes, our mounts are in need of food, so we are just in search around the forest for food for our mounts and ourselves.
You come around
Yeah.
on your big Sobek. Well, keep moving. Keep moving then. There's no food for you here. And it is 2 hobgoblins kind of sneering down at you guys from the watchtower, and another watchtower is within sight as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be like, alrighty, and I'll start walking away.
Okay. With your loud footsteps kind of crashing through and knocking down trees and things and shrubs. Bows are trained on you guys as you guys pass and go back into the thick of the woods. You all continue in that direction until you feel you've gone away from them far enough, which is probably about 300 feet out from the wall.
Well, that whole
The
interaction is
barricade
going
wall.
on. I'm gonna be flying around just to scout out and see what I can see.
I was gonna do that too.
Okay.
That's okay.
As Azrael, Erlin, and Thram and Midnight Flame, why don't you guys make a perception check each?
20, not natural.
Very good.
13.
13. Okay. You guys kind of spot exactly what you can visibly see on this map here. There are at least 2 archers per watchtower. You do see a few hobgoblins are asleep. Most of them are out and about practicing, kind of punching each other in the face and doing things that hobgoblins do, trying to assert dominance over one another. You make out there are a handful of structures in this encampment, this fortified encampment. Yes. But you can't visibly see at this time many non-goblin entities. You do spot there is a human woman, and she is carrying water to an ale, it seems, and a couple of buckets to the watchtowers, and then walking back, and then getting kind of barks from excited hobgoblins as she passes by them, trying to scare her and spook her and give her a hard time.
Do we notice any hobgoblins that look different than other hobgoblins?
With your perception checks, why don't you guys make you can make a history check or an insight check.
That's a 19.
With your 19, this is history or insight, which is it?
I chose history.
Okay, with history, you do recognize one of them, not one of them, but a few of them seem to be not on watchtowers, but kind of in centralized locations, kind of looking at the other hobgoblins. They do appear to have a little bit nicer armor and some bone skull trophies on their apparel, on their shoulders, on their belts, kind of showing off some kind of prestige or rank. That is what you can make out with your checks.
Alrighty. Which ones are the ones that we see? I'm assuming that one is one.
So here and here,
Okay.
and one right here.
Okay.
That's what you can visibly make out. Yes.
The mini bosses.
You also see that there are a few goblins, and they are riding some smaller wargs. There's 2 over here and 2 over there.
Okay. Well, we'll go back and we'll appear back in this plane
Okay.
and tell them what we saw, and then see what they feel the best plan of attack is. Imagine everything you see here through my eyes.
I'll turn to Narita and say, hey Narita, I guess you can kind of do what we did at the working cabin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's a good idea. That's what I'm gonna do.
What did
Whatever
you do
that
at
is,
the working
Narita, you
cabin?
do it.
Some information would be
So
much
she-
appreciated.
She was able to kill a few orcs while sneaking around. She's
Yeah.
quite the assassin. So
I don't know if she wants to, but I'm fine following you in the other plane. So if something does happen, we'll be right there and we can assist you. And then those two can come in from a different angle. If you think that's best. You won't be able to see us, but we'll be able to see you. So if something does happen, then we can jump in and help out.
I do feel that's a decent plan.
I agree.
All right.
So using the map, why don't you guys decide where to expect you two in particular to be coming out and reinforcing should an alarm be cried out.
I will.
two?
Yeah, us too.
You two with the big mounts. Yes.
I will let you two know. Well, he already knows because he's seen it, but you have not. If there's a big group of enemies together, I would get away as quickly as you can, because we can. Our mounts have an ability that they can create a massive ball of fire that will hurt anybody inside of it.
Okay.
So
All right. We should probably stick together just in case we get overrun. So, do you want to hit where we initially ran into them, or do
I
you
think
want to?
they would be suspicious of that spot. Maybe we'll
We can try to hit it from this side, like this side.
hit it from the back.
Yeah.
Show me where the back is
12-year-old.
to you.
I guess kind of on this side of the map.
he's too busy laughing at his own joke. He's got to calm down.
Yeah, we would be. I think this would be kind of be the best spot, right? We can charge into their encampment. So
Now, Steve, I have a DM question for you. Since we can take one willing creature or person with us into the other realm, can I take her and she can take her mount into the other plane? Or vice versa?
I will. Yeah.
Then okay. So we can communicate while we
But
go.
remember, when you come out of that plane, the fire doesn't necessarily burn something, but it will always be fiery and glowy.
The cool thing is, though, is that could also
Flashy.
be used to kind of terrify them because they don't know where we're at. All of a sudden, we
She
appear
loses
in.
her
but she loses her assassination
Yeah.
ability. She can.
They need
kill.
to be completely unawares to base. It's an auto crit ability that she has, and with the rogue, an auto crit
That's
is
like their
extremely
bread
nice.
and butter.
with sneak
Okay.
attack. It's like
So we could
Then
cause
yeah.
distractions as the puffs
no.
of
We
fire,
should.
but
Well, yeah, we
They
should
have to
try.
be
She
completely
could
unaware
probably
of her,
kill.
but
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
So you said initially that you were there just to reinforce should something go wrong, right?
so we'll just do that.
Okay.
Where are you going to try to assassinate? And you're gonna stay mounted, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
ideally, you want an isolated area. Since these guys the more of them seem to be more awake than what you experienced before. Your best shot, since this is kind of a new mechanic I'm introducing to the game, is to go for inside of structures. Remember, there is a potion of invisibility that was offered at the beginning of this session as well, that you could split up between you and Shadow Quill because Shadow Quill can't go invisible without a potion. She does still need cover, so if you wanted to bring her in to a structure with you, you might be able to do that if the door is big enough. Okay, but otherwise you'd want to go by yourself.
How does it work for us if we're in the other plane and we dismount? Would we automatically reappear? Or would we stay in the plane until...
You can stay in the plane up to that time limit away from your mounts.
Okay. That's good to know. Because
Maybe
then,
the towers.
if we need to, one of us can follow you in, dismounted.
But you can't cross into the real plane from the other plane unless your mount brings you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Never mind then. Okay. Good to know. No. We can't hit.
Where are you going?
We can interact. Like we can't go through them and stuff.
Here?
But we can't do
Yeah.
walls.
Try to go inside.
Okay, and then are
I don't think we
you
can't go through walls.
going without your mount, or are you going with your mount?
I said that we can't go through the and stuff. We can go through walls.
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't remember.
With Shadow Quill, I think.
With Shadow Quill, are you using the potion then?
Yes.
Okay, so you split up in a potion of invisibility between you and Shadow Quill.
Do you want mine so you both can just have like the longest amount of time possible?
I don't think we'll need an hour.
Well, I'm staying out of this because I'm an impartial dungeon master.
No, I agree with...
Yeah, I think it's sufficient time.
Yeah.
For
Because
with
15
one.
minutes
Thank you
is
very
still going to be... How many rounds? Each round is...
Many
Well,
battles.
out of combat, it depends. If we're
That's
in
like
combat,
a 10-hour D&D battle session.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should be...
Maybe not that long. Like 5 or 6 hours. Okay, so you and Shadow Quill consuming your potion of invisibility. You both go invisible. And point for me where you were wanting to go. You can use the pointer as well if you need to reach.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Right here.
Right here, to this
Try to
structure
go
first.
inside.
Okay. You go into the biggest structure first, passing a couple. No, let's. You were both invisible. You pass a couple of ward riders here, and you see there is a door. Shadow Quill probably can go in with her feathers. She looks bigger than she actually is. So you both go inside of the structure. You see there is a larger looking hobgoblin on the inside, and he looks quite strong, and a few other hobgoblins that he is making some plans on a map with, and it kind of looks like this map, and he is it seems talking about different outposts. So he says, all right, we're gonna go over in a few days so that people get off of our trail, and we're gonna do patrol sweeps across the coast over here and see if we can get some more slaves. And the other hobgoblins are kind of grunting their approval. Very, very wise, Master Grotnek. Very wise. You also see, after you see some movement, what look like two giant black pillows a little bit in the darkly lit room. One of them kind of yawns and has teeth, and you realize it's not a big black furry pillow. It is a very big black furry lion. And there are two of them in this room, and they are occupying a lot of space in this area.
Don't forget you do have 2 attacks at the very beginning because of the bass you had. Oh, you
But
didn't
not
have
2
that.
sneak attacks. You only get 1 sneak attack per round. All right, so this. I've described the room to you. Unless there's anything else you're wanting to ask about, what would you like to do with this room, if anything?
I think I'm going to get out of there. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't want to die.
kind of worrying about what you're seeing in here.
Yeah.
You and Shadow Quill back out of the room. You kind of are tapping on Shadow Quill's head to let her know silently to back up, and she exits the room, and you guys are back out here. Okay, there we go. She's over right here in this area. So there's a tent here, a tent here, a tent here, and there are 2 structures that do have a small doorway in either of these structures. As far as structures go.
Are they?
So everyone's
We're
waiting
not
for
there.
following your lead.
Yeah, we're following.
These 2 are watching you from the ethereal plane, so they're invisible and they can't hear anything, they can't interact, but they can see you. That's it.
But I'm not able to tell them what I just saw.
You can speak out loud, but you are in stealth, so
No.
you do not want to do that.
Okay.
Now you're stealthy. You're not stealthy. You're invisible, so you can pass and go anywhere freely.
Okay.
Just don't be lazy.
Okay, I'm just gonna go this way then, I think.
Okay.
And
So
try to
starting
go
with this tent over here, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You and kind of leaning forward on Shadow Quill on the back of his head. You 2 kind of peek your head into the tent, and you do see there are 2 hobgoblins asleep inside of this tent.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna attack them.
So, how are you dividing attacks?
Uh,
Because you want to strike in a flash of a moment to prevent alarm, right?
yeah, I'm gonna attack one and Shadow Q is gonna attack the other one. So
Okay.
Shadow-
Yes. And you both have advantage because you are invisible.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that hits.
So that's advantage roll for which one? You or Shadow Quill?
Me.
That's for you. Excellent. So you hit, and you hit one of the hobgoblins who has a certain amount of hit points. Let's see how you do with your sneak attack roll.
36, and it's an automatic crit save.
Okay, and then
12,
Okay.
12 times 2 is 24.
okay plus
That's a 9.
14.
I have so much left.
Yeah, it's 14.
Times 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh
All
yeah.
right.
So it's like 50 damage.
Excellent. So with your rapier poised carefully right above the heart of the unarmored hobgoblin as he is asleep, and your mouth getting ready to cover his mouth, you in perfect quick
I
succession.
think you meant her hand getting ready to cover his mouth, because if she's hovering her mouth over his mouth, that's going to get really ugly. The kiss of death.
The kiss of death. Sometimes I just say words and the thought comes after.
We knew you tried to get your hand out, but we were both standing there like, I don't know
I was like,
about
wait a
that.
minute.
With your other hand, covering the mouth, yes,
That's
you
my new
quickly
style.
cover the mouth, and your rapier goes through and completely goes through the cot, through his body, and blood starts spewing up from his chest. Let's see how Shadow Quill does.
Okay. Does a 16 hit?
It does hit this sleeping unarmored hobgoblin. Yes.
Okay.
Which, once again, what was that damage from Shadow Quill? Which is
29.
29. Excellent. So, yeah. So Shadow Quill just goes forward with her claw poised, kind of similar to yours, right above the heart, and the other talon going into its throat. Just goes in and punctures and destroys that hobgoblin. Is also they're both kind of wriggle for a few seconds, and then they're dead as you've held them down quietly. They're dead. This tent is cleared.
Okay.
Now your invisibility has worn off. Now you said you gave an invisibility potion to them. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have one more invisibility potion to get you from one tent to another, if that is what you would like to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
Yeah.
You divide up your potion in half. You have to Shadow Quill for a short burst of invisibility, and you two go into the next tent, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. You see the same thing. You see 2 sleeping hobgoblins.
Okay.
Actually, make a perception check, just to be sure.
22.
Okay, with your 22, you notice that there are 2 sleeping hobgoblins in each cot, but that underneath the cot, one is sleeping underneath another hobgoblin. So there is 3 hobgoblins in this tent.
2 for 1.
What would you
Yeah.
like? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna attack them.
You're going to attack. So you can attack 2 of them then.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make your same rolls. Let's see how they go.
Dungeon Master. I would like to be burrowing constantly under the ground towards
Okay.
this
Okay.
center-ish of town.
Okay. All right. What now? Your burrow speed is
15.
15. Okay.
If I'm dashing, it'd be 30.
It is. You do know that Zeta, if it gets to be a really long distance, will start getting tired, but she can do that. We'll say you're going 15 feet per round during this time,
17.
and I'm going to mark you as being about right here
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
double
at this time.
So this would be
Okay.
6, 12, so that'd be
I want to just try to get in where I'm
24.
not giving myself
And then
away.
plus
In the
the-
Yeah,
position
no,
that I'm
that's a great
Plus-
idea.
plus
5.
5. So
Um,
29.
in. To hopefully
if
create a
you
distraction
are
enough
being
to-
tactful with your training, you know that if you want to at least hear what's going on, you will need to use your sword or
Well,
something
29.
to poke a little small hole periodically,
Mhm.
so you have some sound coming to you, and in your long tunnel.
Yep, I'll do
Okay.
that.
Excellent.
I use my rapier again, and I got a 29 in Shadow Cube. Was 29 damage as well.
Excellent. With the same motions, 2 of them lie dead. I assume you're going for the 2 on the cots, or are you going for one on the ground and 1 on the cot?
Yeah, the one on the ground and the one
Okay, one on. So Shadowclaw is going for the one on top, and you're sneaking in sideways to stab at the one on the ground, and you kill both of those. They both wriggle in pain, and then you hear a waking up. What?